Have you noticed something interesting? Some of the world's biggest financial companies are quietly choosing Abu Dhabi, not Dubai, not Singapore, not London, Abu Dhabi. So here's the real question. If billions of dollars are moving into one city, where do you think the people working there will live? Most people look at a beautiful apartment and ask, is this a good property? Professional investors ask a different question. What's happening around this property over the next 10 years? And that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. By the end of this video, you'll understand why many analysts believe Reem Island could become one of Abu Dhabi's biggest real estate success stories between now and 2030. And more importantly, you'll know whether this matters to you as a buyer, investors, or someone planning to relocate. Here's the biggest mistake I see. People buy property because they like the building, but property value is rarely created by the building itself. It's created by what's happening around it. Imagine opening a coffee shop. Would you rather open beside an empty parking lot or beside a busy mall where thousands of people walk every day? Same coffee, different location, very different business. Real estate works exactly the same way. People don't buy homes, they buy access. Access to jobs, schools, transportation, lifestyle, business opportunities. And that's why we need to talk about something many people outside Abu Dhabi have never heard of: ADGM. But what exactly is ADGM? And why are global companies choosing it? Let's keep this simple. Imagine every major financial city has one place where banks, investment firms, asset managers, hedge funds, and global companies naturally gather. New York has the Wall Street, London has a Canary Wharf and the City of London, Singapore has Marina Bay Financial Center, Hong Kong has Central, Shanghai has Luzaiju, and Abu Dhabi has Abu Dhabi Global Market, or ADGM. Think of ADGM as an Abu Dhabi International Financial District. But here's what makes it different. Back in 2016, ADGM adopted English common law as a basis of its civil and commercial legal framework. Now, if you're not a lawyer, don't worry. Here's the simple version. Imagine you're an international company deciding where to invest billions of dollars. Would you rather operate under legal rules you're already familiar with, or learn an entirely new legal system? For many global businesses, using principle based on English common law creates a level of familiarity and confidence when signing contracts, raising investments, or resolving commercial disputes. And that makes Abu Dhabi much more attractive for international companies. And when companies feel confident, they hire people. When people move, they need homes. But here's where things becomes really interesting. Where is ADGM actually located? For many years, ADGM was associated mainly with Al Maria Island. But today, its jurisdiction has expanded to include Al Reem Island. At first glance, this might sound like a legal or administrative change. But think about it another way. Imagine a successful business district suddenly becomes connected to a much larger area with more residential buildings, offices, retails, and development opportunities. That's exactly why so many people started paying attention. Instead of financial activity being concentrated in a smaller area, the ecosystem has more room to grow. More offices, more businesses, more services, more residents, and more demand. And demand is one of the biggest drivers of real estate. But here's another question. Why is Abu Dhabi doing all of this? The answer takes us to something much bigger: Abu Dhabi long-term vision. Cities don't accidentally become a global financial hub. They are planned. Think about Singapore. Decades ago, it wasn't automatically one of the world's leading financial centers. It became one through long-term planning, infrastructure, regulation, education, and attracting international businesses. Abu Dhabi is following a similar long-term strategy. The goal isn't simply to build more towers, it's to diversify the economy beyond oil by strengthening sectors like finance, technology, investment management, artificial intelligence, innovation, healthcare, and professional services. That's why we've seen announcements about global asset managers, financial institutions, technology companies, investment firms, and multinational businesses establishing or expanding operations within ADGM. Every new company brings people, executive, lawyers, consultants, analysts, software engineers, finance professionals, entrepreneurs, and every one of those people needs somewhere to live. So, where do many of them look first? Areas that are close to work, offer modern lifestyle, and have a strong connectivity. And that's where Reem Island becomes very interesting. But location alone isn't enough. People also care about convenience. Here's something many first time buyers underestimate: roads create value, transport creates value, schools create value, hospitals create values, infrastructure create value. Imagine buying a beautiful apartment, but it takes 2 hours every day to reach your office. Eventually, you'll probably move. Now imagine living minutes away from your workplace, restaurant downstairs, shopping nearby, parks everywhere, waterfront walking path, international schools, healthcares, everything close together. That's the one reason Reem Island continues attracting both residents and investors. And future becomes even more interesting. Projects like Etihad Rail are expected to improve regional connectivity across the UAE over time. Reem Island is set to be part of the next phase of Etihad Rail connectivity, which is expected to link Saadiyat Island, Yas Island, and other key destinations across Abu Dhabi. That kind of improved connectivity can strengthen accessibility, support business activity, and contribute to a long term economic integration across the Emirates and beyond. Infrastructure is not about today's convenience, it's about tomorrow's demand. But there's another advantage many international investors notice immediately: taxes. When people compare investing different countries, they often focus only on property prices. Professionals also compare the overall investment environment. Abu Dhabi is known for having no income tax. For many international professionals relocating here, that's a significant consideration. Companies also evaluate regulatory stability, ease of doing business, access to capital, quality of life, and international connectivity. When all these pieces come together, businesses become more willing to establish long term operations. And when businesses stay, employees stay, families stay, schools expand, retails grow, communities matured, real estate follows. Notice something? We're no longer talking about apartments. We're talking about an ecosystem. And that's exactly how experienced investors think. So, does this automatically mean every property on Reem Island will double in value? Absolutely not. Let's separate facts from hype. Here's the mistake many people make during exciting market stories: they assume every property benefits equally. That's simply not true. Before buying, ask yourself, who will actually rent this property? How close is it to the employment centers? What's the building maintenance history? What are the service charges? How much future supply is coming nearby? What's the expected rental demand? Is this property solving a real problem for future residents? Because at the end of the day, people don't rent buildings, they rent convenience, lifestyle, time savings, and access. That's why understanding the bigger picture is often more valuable than simply looking at brochures or beautiful photos. So, will Abu Dhabi Financial District expansion automatically make every property in Reem Island a great investment? No. But here's what history teaches us. When government invests in infrastructures, when international companies relocate, when financial district grows, when job increase, when connectivity improves, real estate markets often respond over time. The opportunity is not about buying a property. It's understanding why an area may become more valuable before anyone else starts paying attention. If you remember only one thing from today's video, remember this: the best property decisions are not based on today's skyline. They're based on tomorrow's direction. I hope this helped make Abu Dhabi real estate a life easier to understand. Now I'm curious, if you were investing today, would you choose to live beside a growing financial district, or would you rather focus on a lower price area further away? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoy learning about Abu Dhabi real estate without the sales pressure, subscribe, follow for more videos that explain the market simply so you can make a smarter property decision with confidence. Real numbers, real homes, real Abu Dhabi.